This is episode number 122 of the Homeowners Show. Whether you're DIY or looking to hire, we're here to help you find the best information and options for you and your home. My name is Kevin Hackett, and here with me is Craig Williams.
Hello, and welcome to the Homeowners Show. We're so glad that you could be joining us for this newest of 2021's episodes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is the first episode of the new year coming to you live.
Live, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a new year, so we're trying some new stuff.
Yeah.
So hopefully right now we might potentially be live on Facebook.
It shows on my end that we are.
That's
so.
right. And if all you jokers would just go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we could be live over there. But we haven't hit that threshold yet.
Yeah.
So because we're not all that good looking.
Not yet.
So we can't garner. Maybe if we took our shirts off for the show, Kev.
That would definitely do something. It would do something.
Yeah.
But I don't know that anybody would still listen. They definitely wouldn't watch.
We would definitely attract a certain audience.
That's true.
What do they call those guys?
Creepers?
No. Oh. We're not trying to attract guys.
Oh, okay.
It's a body type that they. What was there was like a fad with like DiCaprio was like he's got the something bod.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
Nope.
We're really in tune with the happenings on the in the culture.
I guess so.
It's gonna come to me like halfway through this episode, and I'm just gonna scream it out. No one's gonna know what I'm talking about at that point.
You're assuming that anybody is still listening now, let alone halfway through the episode.
That was ambitious of me.
Yeah, it was. Well, so here's the interesting thing. I think we're live right now.
Right.
It says we're supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So if we are,
I'm checking.
I'll tell you right now, like it's Monday night.
Yep.
And a lot of times we record these things on Thursday.
Hey, we are live. I can see it.
There you go. Boom.
There, look at us.
Awesome. We're there.
I liked it.
It's okay. Good. You're the only one.
Well, technically, oops, one of my businesses just liked it. I'm going to switch over to me. I liked it.
Yeah, so we thought, hey, we'll just try it out. And for those of you who really want to see it early, when we record it, whatever time it is, whatever day it is, we'll go live. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, it's a new feature. We've got some new content coming down the pipe.
Yeah.
For you guys. So that should be a fun new medium for us to try, and we're going to try and push it to as many platforms as we can, and take advantage of all this, advanced technology that we have here in the Homeowner Show. It's been widely underutilized.
Sure.
We had to get an additional hamster for the wheel. To power this thing.
Yeah, but believe you say that in all jest, but like we made some adjustments.
Yeah.
And being able to be live right now is because of some of those adjustments.
Yeah. And we'll probably make some other adjustments.
Yeah.
Because we're not afraid to make some mistakes along the way.
That's right.
We're always pushing forward.
Yeah, we're still here
just for you guys.
Yeah, just for the listeners.
So and like this is because it's this is the first show of the new year. We just wanted to take a minute and say thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've been doing this for close to 2 years now.
No. 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah, we started September 2018.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So, So beyond you guys have been sticking with us for a while now.
Yeah.
This is a big deal. I mean, like this means that the show's got some legs.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to buy out HGTV.
Yeah.
And reform all that nonsense that's going on over there.
Yeah. I mean, Bob Vila has already quit. He's quit.
He saw us and he bailed.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm not doing the podcast anymore.
He's out.
So, I think that's probably a good point. And we've already skipped over those stuff that we planned to talk at the beginning of the show. You were going to talk about your sink. I was going to talk about my zip line.
Yeah.
We'll cover that in another episode.
Yeah.
It'll be great. No one's been injured on the zip line, by the way.
Yeah.
Just, spoiler alert.
Right.
But, I think, and I was thinking about this today while I was out working. I was like, one of the reasons that I love what we do is I think we're trying to bring a realistic perspective to being a homeowner.
Right, yeah.
Because I think so much, and like this is not to like dog on HGTV, because I mean obviously those guys do a good job. They try and put together good programs and all those kinds of things. They haven't called us yet, but it's
inevitable.
They're not ready,
right?
But I think what's different about what we're trying to do is to just make it as real as possible, because like we're not trying to like talk to these celebrity types. We're trying to talk to real people who provide real services and solve problems for people on a daily basis.
Yeah, and neither one of us, you or me, neither one of us are like super homeowner necessarily.
No.
I don't have a background in anything related to owning a home or redoing a home or remodeling or building or anything like that. Like all I have is a little bit of a desire to do a better job of owning my home than I did yesterday. Like let's just get into the sink for just a brief minute, because like I had a problem and I could have called a plumber and I did call a plumber, but the plumber was unavailable because it was the day before New Year's Eve, right? And so
ain't nobody want to work then.
No, he was busy. And it's fine. I understand that. So what I do, I looked under my sink and I figured out what the problem was. And we'll talk about what actually happened and how I fixed it another day, but I fixed it on my own without a plumber, and it was easy. It was, took some time
and some information
and I figured out the problem, and I figured it out by doing a little bit of research and choosing to get my hands a little bit dirty. And at the end of the day, I think that's really what this podcast is about.
Well, we're not going to get into it again, but you accessed a network of information.
And it completely changed whether or not I was going to be able to do that job.
Yeah.
Without that, in fact, when I told you about it, you were like, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
And I didn't either.
And which again, that's the whole point of the show.
Yeah.
Is for us to be able to present you guys with information and experts that know what they're talking about and are able to present you with like this is how I, an expert, would go about doing this. And not to say you can't do this, but here's what I as an expert have learned over the course of my career and experience. And then you can then take that information and go, oh, I shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Or, hey, that doesn't sound so bad.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
Either I can do it or I need to find someone else who can.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. We know that many of you that are listening to this right now, you don't live in Houston where we live. So accessing these specific people, maybe that's not the right thing for you. But hopefully it's going to give you some insight in going, okay, I now know a couple of things I need to ask that person when they show up or whenever I'm getting a bid on something. I have a little bit of knowledge in what I'm doing. It's not that I know what I'm doing. It's that I at least, hey, I heard someone at one point say something about this. Can you talk to me about that?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And so all that to say, we feel like we're providing a unique product to you guys, and obviously we've continued to garner more and more listeners as the time has gone by, and we just wanted to say thank you and and say that we're not done. No. In fact, I think you and I are in the same mind here. I feel like we've barely scratched the surface,
which is really bizarre to think about.
Yeah,
because this is episode number 122, right?
Right,
and which means some of these we've done, a review here or there, which we hadn't done in a review in a while. We should probably get on that. But we brought in a lot of people, and there's still a lot of people that we haven't brought in yet.
Yeah, that we just haven't had the chance to talk to.
Right.
There's been, we've had, I can't tell you guys the number of canceled interviews that we've had.
Yeah.
And not because people don't want to come on the show. Everyone is genuinely interested in coming on the show. Because these guys are operating businesses, and then they have families and obligations, it's difficult to get some of these guys in to actually talk about what they do. But we're staying vigilant. I think you've been working on an episode on disposal. Stuff
for a while.
It seems, I don't know how long, but these guys, they're interested, but then we can't get them in, and it's who's the right guy? It can get complicated.
Well, we're talking about government stuff at this point.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to. I've got to go through a senator in order to get these people on, and it's not. maybe they want to, but they've got to, their boss has to give approval.
Right.
You know?
We run into that a lot.
Yeah.
Where some people are like, hey, like, you know, I'd love to come on the show, but like we have to go through these hoops in order for us to even be allowed to talk about these things, which is, I mean, like, I get it. There's a certain amount of liability that comes with public speaking when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Like there's things in the pest control industry that I just can't talk about and offer my advice openly and freely.
Sure.
Because of liability issues.
Sure.
And sometimes I play loose and fast with that. Anyway, that actually happened today. I had a real estate agent reach out to me about, man, this was bizarre. So, you know, and this is not like, I'm not like sharing secret information here, but like at least in the state of Texas, if you do an application for anything, you are required to list the chemical that you used for that application.
Okay.
And not just like the chemical, you have to list the chemical, the EPA registration, and the concentration rate that you use, because there's different concentration rates for different pests.
Okay.
Right? And different application rates and different even application types that you use. And like you're supposed to, you know, if they change or they alter or they're different from something normal, you have to list those things.
Okay.
And so this real estate agent reached out to me. Actually, I don't think she minds if I say her name. It was Christy Fennell. That's actually been on the show before.
Sure.
She did our episode on first-time homebuyers.
Yeah.
It was a great episode. I think
was.
it's like one of our best performing episodes. She had a client that had bought a home and they were having an issue with carpenter ants, and she'd gotten a record of treatment from this company. And what I won't do is I won't mention the name of the company, because that could get us in trouble. But she sent me a copy of what they had done, and there was no chemical listed and there was no application listed, and it was like charged like $150. And I was like, Christy, what'd they do? And she goes, I don't know. And I was like, well, what'd they use? She goes, I don't know. And I was like, they have to tell you this stuff. Is there any more paperwork? And she's like, no, there's no more paperwork. And I was like, okay, they're either withholding paperwork from you, or they made a really bad mistake and did not fill out this paperwork properly because, like, you know, they didn't follow these steps. And it's like, you need to know that kind of information.
Yeah.
And like just within our industry, I mean, the reason that information is there, and like this should be like top of mind, tip of tongue with people right now, because everyone's so aware of medical issues in their life. Like the reason you have that information is in case someone has an allergic reaction.
It's protection.
It's for your safety.
Yeah.
So like when a doctor, you're having hives, or you're having, some sort of breakout or allergic reaction, you're having trouble breathing or something like, and a physician asks you, like, have you come in contact with any pesticides recently?
Yeah.
Yes, this one.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, has anybody ever watched like The Good Doctor?
I haven't.
Or like Chicago Med? I mean, come on, people. These are real problems out there.
More of a Doogie Howser guy. But
Doogie Howser.
That's really when that and Scrubs, and I've been out ever since then. I learned everything about doctors from those guys.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Well, I agree. There's so many things out there. I mean, you and I have learned a lot just by doing this show. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. Just every once in a while, I'll talk to someone and they're like, "Oh, it's this and this and that," and I'm like, "Oh, we did an episode on that. Oh, we did an episode on that." But there's still so much in the pipe that we haven't even broached. And one of the things that's been on our mind is foundations.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, foundation around here in the Houston area, there's bad foundations all over the place.
Well, that's another one we've been trying to get on.
I know.
Lisa Agents connected us with that company that lifts houses and like readjusts their foundations and things like that. Like, those guys have been so busy.
Yeah. I
mean, like, they're next to impossible to get a hold of. We'll get them, though.
Yeah, we will.
So I'll tell you another, like, this is kind of funny. I went bowling the other day.
Oh, really? Are you a bowler?
No.
Oh.
And it's one of those like nicer bowling alleys where the waitress comes over, would you like any drinks? And everything.
Oh yeah.
And I wasn't bowling at the time. I was actually just sitting and watching. And I struck up a conversation with this gal, and she was I mean, to your point, like we did an episode on, like when you say that about like that,
it happens.
That happens in conversations all the time now. She was talking to me about how she's having to share a home right now with her mother-in-law and her brother-in-law and his wife and her husband, and she's like, I'm really trying to. We're trying to adjust and move to where we can all get our own separate living spaces, but we'd really all like to live on the same property. She goes, but the problem is none of our credit's really great. Oh. And I was like, well, I actually host a show and we interviewed a guy that really knows how to repair your credit. And like, actually, if you go listen to the episode, he gives some real practical tips. Shout out to Mason Miller over at BWI.
Yeah.
On how to repair your credit. And she's like, what were those practical tips? And I'm like, well, I'm a moron and can't remember every interview.
Right.
Like,
go listen to it.
I'm sorry, just go listen to it. Here's the link. Here's his name. Here's the episode. I'll even look up the episode for you. It's like, I can't remember everything that he said, but like, I remember him giving some very practical advice as to what you can do to improve your credit. And like, if that doesn't do it for you, call him. He's willing to help you.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my gosh. Like, and then she was like, is he local? And I was like, yeah, he's like here in the Woodlands.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I'll give him a call. And I'm like, fantastic.
Good.
Because that's what he's there for.
And that conversation right there is the reason we do this for you guys. Because we want you to be empowered to not make mistakes and to feel like you didn't get gypped on things. Like, giving knowledge is power in so many ways. And I'm not talking like power like I own you. It's power like just the power to not get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
The power to feel like when I'm talking about something, I'm not just mindlessly talking, like to have some actual information to work with. So, that's what we want to do. And we know also that there are probably some things out there that you wish we would do an episode on that we haven't covered yet. Please let us know what it is. In fact, that's where we got the idea about the waste removal stuff, right? We had to try to figure out like where we going to find that information. How are we going to find it?
Sorry, my phone came on.
What is your phone doing?
I didn't mean to like interrupt your important moment there.
Well, I had lots of really important things to say just now, and
carry on.
I completely lost my train of thought. It was really good, Craig.
It was.
People were really like, man, that Kevin, he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Until that. What are you doing over there?
Well, like I'm checking. I was trying to check on the live stream and see what's going on, and like the one comment is from William Underwood. All he says is duct tape. Which is fair. We haven't done an episode on duct tape.
No, and I have not successfully gotten you to close your mouth yet. So, little duct tape
could be an effective tool. I don't know.
That's right. Thank you for the advice, William. I will get duct tape around Craig's mouth soon.
Yeah,
that'll be good.
And if that's how you intended it, William, I need to talk to you about my mattress.
Oh man. I really hope he was watching and saw that look you just gave him. That's funny. Yeah, because that duct tape you had to put on the mattress, that wasn't very good. Yeah. It's a whole nother conversation. Yeah.
Operator error.
That's right. Well, and there's some other things that we know, not just experts that we want to bring in. Sometimes we do reviews on things, and maybe there's something out there that you're interested in trying, or maybe there's something that you've said, hey, I've heard about this thing. Can you do a review on it? Yeah. We love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and just right off the top of my head, I know we've got some interesting guests in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Already. I mean, we've got our mutual friend Jared coming in
soon
to talk about the house that he basically rebuilt from top to bottom
by himself.
But he's also, since he got rid of that property, he's moved on to making like some handmade cutting boards.
Yeah.
And some other products for your home.
Yeah.
Which, they're fantastic looking. Yeah. We have a licensed therapist friend of mine that we're talking with about coming in and doing a mental health episode for we're in Texas. We have a little bit more freedom here to move about and go out and do some things. Not all restaurants are closed down and things like. But a lot of people across the U.S. that listen to this show, they're in not as friendly of not friendly is probably not a great way to. They're not as
it's not as open.
It's not as open.
Yeah,
if for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And so that's a difficult situation to be in, which brings me to some actually. I mean, like. A friend of the show that we'd love to have back on again, up in the Seattle area. Haley Thayer's back active doing some stuff online again
Hey, what's up, Haley?
Haley.
I hope you're listening right now.
Yeah. We're super proud of you. Your baby is beautiful.
Of course.
I saw him on the YouTubes.
Yes.
So we're excited that you're active again. We'd love to chat with you about everything. Interest rate and home buying and all that kind of good stuff again. She's always a fan favorite to have on the show. And then Tanya Manley, we're planning on having her back in. We've been talking about the episode. Last time we talked to her about home cleaning, we're going to talk about, you guys are going to be blown away what we're going to be talking with her about. She has had a crazy 2020.
Man.
I am just in awe and amazed by her and Will, who is her husband, who's also going to be in the studio to talk about everything that's been going on in their world and their life.
What a strong family.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I mean, you want to talk about having to adjust your home. Wow.
Yeah.
We're really excited to get them in and talk about what's been going on with them. So, I mean, and again, like, that's just the stuff, like, off the top of my head that we have planned. We have a lot of, like, other stuff that, it's not confirmed yet, so we can't talk about it. But we have a lot of other stuff in the pipeline that we're just excited to get to you guys because and again, like, it's stuff that we're excited to bring to you because it's stuff we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
And, back 2.5 years ago when, like, we were, like, penciling out, like, here's a list of topics, right?
Yeah.
And we thought that, like, that list was pretty exhaustive.
Yeah. And there was like 40 or 50 things on there.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, it's going to take us a while to do this. And it did. And there's probably still some things on that
on that list that we haven't done. Yeah.
I mean, and here we are 2.5 years later. I mean, and I'll just say, I mean, we said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we enjoy doing this. It's fun for us. But I mean, if you weren't listening, at some point we'd be like, we're done. Right? And so thank you for listening and being part of what we do. It's a joy for us to be able to bring you stuff like that.
Absolutely. So Kevin and I have different roles on the show, and he's actually looking over the video stuff right now. Can you see comments that come through on what you're looking at?
No.
Okay. So these are all fun things that we need to learn.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, but if so, I don't know where.
You don't know where? Okay. We'll figure it out. I mean, like, I can look at some of it here on my phone. But just real quick, we appreciate your support. One of the best ways that you can support the show is by sharing our content.
Yeah.
Especially now that we can put the episode live up on Facebook. And so many people ask us, like, how do you have time to do this? Well, now you know, because we do it late at night.
Yep.
And
most of the time it's after our kids are in bed.
Yep.
And our wives are, starting to wind down for the night. And yeah.
Yeah. So a great way to support the show is just to share the content. An episode that you enjoyed, you're like, hey, this is really important information. I feel like people need to know these kinds of things. Please share that information. We want it's free, and we want it to get into as many hands as possible because we feel like it's valuable information. We're not going to do an episode where we feel like, oh, this is just throw this one away.
Right.
Other ways that you can support the show, you can actually buy our T-shirts on Amazon.
Yeah.
There's a link for that always in the show notes. We'd appreciate and also that just helps promote the show because you can wear the T-shirt and you're all beautiful, wonderful people, and we'd be happy for you to wear our merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, like, we just love you guys.
Yes. Yeah. And, anytime you can subscribe, tell someone else about the show, those things are all valuable. They're valuable, hopefully, not just for us as the show, but hopefully for that person you're talking to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, and I guess one other quick thing is, like, if you know of anybody that would bring value to the rest of the listeners,
Yeah.
if you have a recommendation for someone that would be interesting for us to talk to, we'd love to either, bring them in via Zoom or have them in the studio. We have that ability to do.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to. I mean, we talked with our friend Molly.
I think she was in New York at the time.
Yeah, and we did that episode. So I mean, and we talked to Haley multiple times. There's lots of people that we've talked to on the show. Mm-hmm. They're not in our Houston backyard here. So I said that as if Houston's like a little small place. It's not. But yeah, I mean, let us know if you got someone you're interested in. Let's talk to them.
Yeah.
So, well, listen. Anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Okay. I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with us. But more than anything, we hope you're looking forward to 2021 like we are. Honestly, I have a lot of hopes for 2021, just personally, for our country, for our world. Lots of things I think are going to be better than 2020. And hopefully the content here on the Homeowners Show will continue to make you happy. And so, yeah. We're going to sign off. Thanks for watching live on YouTube. Facebook. We're not on YouTube yet.
Subscribe over there. Then we can go live on YouTube.
You'll see it, but not live yet. Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See you.